Good morning, families. It's a pleasure to see all of you here today. We are so excited. We have so many great surprises today, and we are looking forward to having a wonderful time as we celebrate our now rising kindergartners that are going to first grade. Are you excited? Are you excited? I am too. Okay, let us begin. Can Taj Loic come at this time?
Welcome to the Kindegarten starting out ceremony and to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Taj, for that wonderful and warm welcome. Can we give him another round of applause? Now, can we have Rose and Alexandria come at this time? Give them a round of applause. Right over here. Right over here. Say hi, my name is.
Hi, my name is Alexandrine. Hi, my name is Rose. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand on your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. At this time, can we please have Samuel and Ava come? Give them a round of applause. You're gonna say your name. Hold the mic. Hold the mic.
Hi, my name is Ava.
What's your name? What's your name? What is your name? What's your name? Say hi, my name is Samuel. Stay right here. Say hi, my name is Samuel.
Hi, my name is Samuel.
Stand right here. And now we are going to sing. And now we are going to sing. And now. And now we are going to sing.
We are going to sing
The national
Black
anthem.
Anthem.
Lift every voice.
Lift every voice.
Amazing job, scholars. Scholars, we're tracking Miss Porter. You may now take your seats. Excellent job. Now I have the esteemed pleasure to introduce a vital part of this Merrick Academy community. He is a force to be reckoned with, if I do say so myself. He is a man of great vision and great wisdom. He always has a lesson and a story, and he always has nothing but positive and affirmations to give, even when you sometimes feel like a failure. We thank you, Dr. Manuel, for all of your hard work. So I introduce to some and present to others our Executive Director, Dr. Adrian Manuel. Give him a round of applause.
I don't know what to say after that. Good side of the force, right, Miss Porter? Good morning, parents, family members, siblings, students. Good morning. So you didn't know this, but we made a couple phone calls last night, and we made the sun go away this morning because we wanted to make the brightest thing today all of our graduates, all of our kindergartners. That's why you have those gold caps. And also later today, if it does thunder and lightning, that's for you. That's the great applause for your celebration today, guys. So let's just take a check here. If you are a parent or parents, can we hear you? Can we get a round of applause from parents who are in the crowd today? I did that wrong. Sorry. If you are a parent, raise your hand. Can we get a round of applause for the parents? If you are a grandparent and you're here today, can we get your hands in the air? Grandparents, let's give them an applause. If you are an aunt or an uncle of one of these young, fine people in front of me, can we get your hands in the air? If you're a sibling, brother, sister. And now I'm probably going to forget a category, but last but not least, if you are a friend of a family member or a friend of one of these young scholars here and you're here to support them today, raise your hand. And if everybody can hold their applause for a second, all the kindergartners who are soon to be first graders, everybody who just raised their hand, at some point or another, since you were born, has helped you to get here. So I want you guys to give them the biggest round of applause. All right, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. And my message today is actually for our graduates, our kindergarten graduates who are going to be first graders officially after today. So I need to tell you guys 3 things that I need you to remember. And I'm asking all the family members here today to remember these 3 words of advice, because I hope that you as parents or family members or friends can further push this advice on your child until the time they're old enough that they don't need it anymore. This is the same words of advice my dad gave me as a child. So first, and let me tell you what I'm going to tell you guys. That's all right. That's all right. So I've got 3 pieces of advice for all of you kindergartners to be successful as first graders and as your entire time in Merrick, as middle school students, as high school students, and as adults. So you have to remember these 3 pieces of advice. I still follow them. You ready? Yes? All right. There's a quiz afterwards. No, there's no quiz today. Don't worry, but you're going to remember these. So first, for you to be successful in life, the very first thing you need is you need to believe in yourself. Can you all say that? Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Now I want you to say, I believe in myself. Okay, that's the first piece of advice. Are you going to remember that always? Yes? So whenever anybody tells you you can't do something and you believe you can do something, always believe in yourself. okay? Unless it's a rule that you're breaking from your parents. You have to follow those rules, okay? Second, okay, so believe in yourself is first. Second is work hard at whatever you want to achieve. You guys hear me? Work hard at whatever you want to achieve. Sometimes things are difficult. Sometimes something you want to do, at first you can't do it well. Maybe you want to ride a bike, but at first you try it and you're not riding a bike well. Maybe you're falling. But if you give up, you'll never learn how to ride a bike. Okay? So what I'd like everybody to say after I say this is, second rule of advice, work hard every day. Can y'all hear you guys say it? Work hard every day. So, let's repeat the first one. I believe in myself. I will work hard every day. And here's the last piece of advice. The last piece of advice is probably the hardest piece of advice. The last piece of advice is you have to stay focused. I'm going to say that again. Because some of you, you don't have to say it yet. See, you weren't focused enough to hear me, but that's okay. You have to stay focused. It's okay. Not yet. Not yet. I want to explain it really quick, right? So sometimes, when your teacher is teaching you something, do some of you maybe look out the window or look at your friends or think about what you're going to do after school or think about playing video games or something that comes in your mind that makes you forget what you were listening to? Does that happen to you? Yeah? Okay. Guess what? That happens to me. That happens to the adults here. It happens all the time. But the better you get at staying focused when other people are distracted and when it's something you believe in and it's something you want, I almost guarantee you if you work hard, you believe in yourself, and you stay focused, you will achieve whatever you want. So now you guys can repeat after me. Stay focused. I will stay focused. Okay, let's go through these 3 magic rules. I believe in myself. I will work hard. I will stay focused. Families, feel free to push this advice at home. It's what I tell my kids. And listen, it's very simple, but it's very hard. That's the only message I have for you, because if you follow those 3 pieces of advice, I know all of you kindergartners will do great in 1st grade. You'll do great in 2nd grade, all the way till you graduate as 5th graders at Merrick, and we send you off to middle school. So I want to congratulate you guys. I want you guys to celebrate later when the lightning's going off for you. And again, it might be a cloudy day, but you are the brightest thing in the room today, guys. Congratulations.
Can we give another round of applause to our executive director, Dr. Manuel? Thank you so much for those words of inspiration. At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing our Director of Student Support Services, Ms. Keith. She is a vital part of the roles that are happening in our building today and our day-to-day duties. She has ran so many programs. Some of you have gotten vaccinated because of the program that she ran and the initiative that she took for that to take place, and many of your scholars also did that. So she is a vital role, and I introduce to some and present to others, Ms. Keith.
So first, I want to say to the scholars, I want you guys to repeat after me, okay? Everyone listening? And when you do this, I'm going to want you to take your arms, and I'm going to want you to squeeze yourselves. Everyone practice squeezing themselves. Okay, ready? So my oldest daughter's karate teacher used to do this exercise with them every day. And I always thought it was so amazing. And it gave them pride and self-confidence before they started their lesson for the day. So you guys, you're going to say it, and you're going to say it loud, okay? You know how we tell you to use the inside voice? I don't want you to use that right now. I want you to use the outside voice. You got it? Okay. So when I count to 3, you're going to say, I love myself, but you're going to say it loud, and you're going to squeeze yourself. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I love myself. And then I want you to say, And I want you to take your hand and wave it just like this, okay? And you're going to say, and I don't care what nobody thinks. 1, 2, 3. And I don't care what nobody thinks. Say it again. I love myself. I love myself. And I don't care what nobody thinks. And I don't care what nobody thinks. Now, let me add a caveat to that. You do have to care what your parents think, okay? But when it comes to loving yourself, you have to feel that on the inside. All right? So this has been a challenging year. For many of us, none of us experienced going through school during a pandemic. And for these scholars who are sitting right here, they might not have attended preschool in person. It may have been virtual. This may be their first time in the school. They might have attended a learning center, or maybe it was a hybrid. As a parent, I have 3 children, 17, 12, and 6. And so the experience of being a parent, working, being home, trying to get them to do their work, or sometimes chucking it up and going, listen, go ahead, play Minecraft, because I have to deal with the other 2, right? It's like all of these difficult choices that we made. And it creates a lot of anxiousness throughout the year. It's an anxious year, right? Do you agree with that? Put a thumbs up if you believe it was an anxious year, right? And as parents, you might have beat yourself up a bit, because maybe this isn't your first child. You didn't have these same issues with your oldest one, right? And you're dealing with a whole new beast. And so today, I want us to take a deep breath in on a count of 3. I'm going to hold it for 3 seconds, and we're going to let it out. And when we let it out, I want you to exhale all the stress. Exhale all the things you thought you got wrong. Exhale all the things that you felt your kids didn't possibly get right. Exhale all the annoying emails I sent you, okay? I want you to let it all go. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to hold it in for 3, and then we're going to let it all out and put it in the universe, because we all know that God has a plan for us. We may have a plan, but we know that God has his own plan, right? And so the plan was for us to get here, and the journey that it took for us to get here, that was what we needed to do. We have no idea what these blessed creatures are going to do in the future, but it was necessary for them to go through these trials and tribulations so that they could have the strength and the calluses on their feet to make the journey that they need to make. So on the count of 3, we're going to inhale, we're going to hold it for 3 seconds, and then we're going to let go of all the emails that I sent you about COVID. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Everybody inhale. Hold it. And then let it out. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
That sigh for the emails was extremely loud. But we appreciate you. Can we give I was about to say Dr. Keith. Miss Keith, another round of applause. Parents, we appreciate, and guardians and friends, we appreciate you for being in attendance today. There are plenty of seats for all of our families. However, we have some families that are standing up that we would like to have seated at this time. So if you have a seat next to you, would you mind moving down so no one has to cross over you at this time? I see several empty seats. If you could just move down, that would be very helpful. Thank you so much. We'll give you another 30 seconds to do so. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Representing our Board of Trustees of the Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School, our Executive Director, Dr. Adrian Manuel. Give him a round of applause as he comes.
All right. So families, earlier I talked to the students. Now I want to share a couple things with you. And our board chair is out of town today for an education conference, so I want to speak on behalf of the board. So oftentimes you don't get to see me, you don't get to hear about what I do because I work behind the scenes. But I want to announce a couple things today that we haven't announced to other families yet. We've told them about it, but we haven't announced officially some things. So your kids who are up here, our kindergartners who are about to be first graders, they will be eligible to be middle school students at Merrick Academy. One of the things that we are working on behind the scenes is we are submitting an application this fall to SUNY, who's our authorizer, to expand Merrick to 6th through 8th grade, starting 2 years from now. Now, as a former middle school principal and high school principal, I know the importance of kids having a journey that's consistent. So we want to make sure that what we do here in our elementary school expands into our middle school, and you have an option in District 29 that you can be satisfied with. With us expanding to a middle school, if you've been in our hallways, you know we don't have space here, right? And we're not going to have classes in this tent as a middle school. But I am also working on finding us a space. And we found, we have not found, we found some good spaces, but we have not found a space yet. We are exploring spaces all within the area, not too far away, for either us to have a brand new campus that will be built, kindergarten through 8th grade, and we're even considering pre-K. So if you have another one coming down the road, we may have a pre-K program by that point in time. Or this campus will stay K through 5, and we'll have a middle school campus. Our goal is to have it less than 2 miles away, because we realize if you have a child here or if you're already in the neighborhood, we don't want you having to commute too far. But you also know real estate in this area is not easy to find, so it's going to take us some time. And going into next year, Merrick is last night we had a board meeting, and at the board meeting, our budget, kindergartners, I know this is the boring stuff, but remember, stay focused. So at the board meeting last night, we passed our budget for next year. And one of the things I can share for you is your children, as they come back as first graders next year, will have the most investments we've ever made in technology and STEM learning. We're going to start programs in coding and robotics. We put more investments for our teacher training around like where the world is going and the kinds of practices that they need coming out of COVID, which dare I say we've come out of COVID, but recovering. And for Ms. Keith, who I know is very happy, but with the mask on, I won't see the smile, is that we have put the most money forward ever for mental health services, for not only faculty, for students, for families. And that doesn't mean everybody needs like mental health counseling. It means support services, partnerships. If you need more extreme things like mental health services, we have that. But just bringing in more expertise, more resources to help all of us recover from the pandemic, but not only recover, but come out stronger. And so I want to announce that for the board. I hope that excites you. I know our kindergartens who are soon to be first graders after this ceremony have a long way to go before they get to middle school. But just like this year went quick, the next few years will go quick, and before you know it, they'll be taller than you. Like my middle schooler today is now taller than me, who was a 5th grader here smaller than me, and now is taller than me. And we've got great things planned for them. And so I want to announce that. I hope that's exciting for you. And as I said earlier, push that advice I gave your kids. Believe in themselves, work hard, and stay focused, because we'll be preaching that every day. And again, congratulations to you, and that's from our Board of Trustees.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Manuel. At this time, we will have our award presentations led by our kindergarten instructors. Give them a round of applause.
Yeah, that's fine. Good morning, everyone. Thank you again. My name is Janine Scarlatas. We are beyond excited to celebrate our scholars with you today. Students have been recognized for a variety of academic awards, including excellence in ELA, excellence in math, overall academic achievement, and on and on. Please refer to your program for the specific individual names and the specific awards that each child received. Right now, we would like to take a moment to recognize all of our scholars. Parents, we ask that you please hold your applause until all of the scholars are standing. Scholars, please stand when you hear your name being called. Parents, you may also remain seated while we're going through everything. Scholars, when you hear your names, please stand. Without further ado, I'd like to start with my class, the K1 Excellence class. Taj Lowe, Shamari Naismith, Kamoya Redwood, Joseph Theodore, the class of K1 Excellence. Scholars, you may be seated. We would also like to take a moment to thank you, our parents, for the instrumental role that you help with our classrooms and our school community. In appreciation, parents, also please stand when you hear your names called. Each teacher will call the parents for their specific classrooms. For K1 Excellence, I would like to invite Marie Gentilon and Terrell Lowe. Please stand. Thank you so much for all of your support and hard work throughout the year.
Parents, your awards will be in your kids' envelopes with their certificates.
At the end of the ceremony, all the students will receive an envelope. It has all of their specific awards that they received, as well as the parent awards. So, thank you.
So don't go anywhere. So when we practice, I said, I'm going to come up and I'm going to say nice, 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 right? And say what I was going to say. But, you know, it takes a lot. It's a special calling, right? Different jobs have special calling. And you hope that people who are called to teaching, right, they're doing it with compassion and empathy. And I can say that for kindergarten teachers, you have to be a special type of person, right? Because the problems you get are, they took my orange crayon. Well, you could get that one. No, but that is my orange crayon right there, okay? So those are the types of things, including like just being compassionate and loving, because everything is something to cry about. And so we wanted to take this time when each teacher comes up just to say how much we love you guys, we appreciate you, and you are the heart of the school. And so we want to present you with this bouquet of flowers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Ms. Brancato is coming at this time, but also I just want to let you know, parents, that Senator Comrie has also acknowledged each and every kindergarten scholar with an award, and it's in their envelopes as well. So can we just give them a round of applause for awarding our kindergarten scholars?
Good morning. For those who don't know me, I am Ms. Brancato. K1 scholars, when you hear your name, please stand. Samuel Amenifeno. Mara Bevu, Zachary Barat, Tyrone Billy, Nato Chukwu, Jeremiah Collins, Janae Costin, Kimsirona Godwins, Logan Holmes, Julian Ajaji, Dion Leo, Carter Mitchell, Abraham Nurse Noel, Emiola Olikan, Jace Sidney White, Sage Simpson, Messiah Smith, Jamor Stephenson Brooks, Aria Wilson, K1 graduates of 2022. Scholars, you may be seated. I would like to acknowledge some parents in K1. Please stand when you hear your name. Shauna Nurse Noel, Antonia Kuchu, Felicia Barat, Alicia Constant, Aveline Grimes. Thank you for all your support in K1 this year. You are much appreciated.
Let's give Ms. Brancato a round of applause. Miss Brancato has played and stepped into a leadership role in the class. She's supportive of her peers. If you walk into her classroom, it's bright. I remember how excited the kids were. I think you had the butterfly. Did you guys have the butterflies in the classroom? And they were so excited. She works with her heart. She leads with her heart. And so we are blessed to have you. The kids are blessed to have you. And we look forward to all of the amazing things you're going to do next year. And here's a token of our appreciation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Reynolds from K2. Scholars, please stand when you hear your name. Parents, please hold your applause until the end. Sahara Polanco, Josiah Anderson, Chikanima Anesetu, Anaya Ansong, Grace Balgrove, Simon Bulwade, Julian Brenner, Nathaniel Brooks, Zachary Brown, Kai Hicks, Aiden Johnson, Genesis Jones, Wigan Lewis, Samari McBean, Aria Olton, Peyton Perkins, Amaya Richards, Khalees Robb, Rose Cyrus, Jeremiah Toussaint, and Nakarli Wright. Okay, I was going to say, please join me in giving the 2022 graduates of K2 a rousing round of applause. Graduates, you may be seated. I also want to acknowledge some parents who have been very supportive in K2. As you hear your name, please stand. Bernice Anson, Shernette Brooks, Terence Brenner, Rachel Jones, James Toussaint, thank you so much for all your help. We really appreciate you.
Miss Keith is, super busy, so I'll go ahead and do Miss Reynolds. Would you? Okay.
Yeah, just got to make sure people not sneaking into the graduation. So sometimes God has you step in, step over, step through. This woman here stepped in, right? Because we had someone else in the class. And so Principal Waterson had Miss Reynolds step in. And boy, did she step in. Can we give Miss Reynolds a good job? A round of applause. It's one thing to start the tone in the beginning. It's another thing to come in and then have to reset the tone for the class. And she did it with love and with compassion. So we want to thank you. We see you, and we appreciate you for all that you did this year. Thank you. Before, there was one person, I don't know how I could forget this person. So if you're a parent in EK1, can you stand? If your child is in EK1 with Miss Scarlato, some people are already standing. How could I forget this person? And y'all know who this person is. I heard somebody say the name again. Miss K. All right. Miss K. Let's clap it up for Miss K. Miss K, please come up. Parents, you can take a seat. Her famous line is, Miss Keith, what do you need me to do? Right? Is that, what do you need me to do? Just tell me, Miss Keith. Do you need my kids to come in? It's a Sunday at 11. What do you need me to do, Miss Keith? Miss K is essential to that class. Yes, let's clap it up for Miss K. Again. So oftentimes paras don't get the recognition that they need, and they're essential in the class, and she loves those kids. She was essential to us in the summer. She'll be essential to us again this summer. So I did forget you, but I didn't, because you had flowers. I just forgot to say it. We love you, we care about you, and we honor you. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I am Miss Mercury of Class K3, and I'm here to present the scholars of Class K3 for 2022. Scholars, when you hear your name, please stand. Jeremiah Smith. Stand, please. Peyton Mason. Emily Augusta Suarez. Jolie Theodore. Chelsea Taylor. Ryan Batiste. Tyreek Skinner Jr. Kenzo Watford. Gabrielle Enriquez. Kivarni Baker. Stevana Campbell. Rihanna Frazier. Austin Crooks. Alexandrine Metellus. Daisy Olariwaju. Zenolia Porter. Niniola Youssef. Dejne Gooden. Dylan Boscat. Shamar James Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2022, Kate Ashbury. Scholars, you may now sit. Awesome. And as we go through the year, we've had a few parents who have been very supportive throughout the year. So a couple of the parents that I wanted to just acknowledge this year, Miss Tamika Frazier, Julian Graham Smith, Kareen Martin James, and last but not least, Miss Sharita Koch, who steps in at any time I need her to for any reason. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you.
I know she wants to run. She doesn't like this type of public acknowledgement. If your child is in Miss Mercury's class, they're going to know which way left is, which way right is, when to look up, when to look down. Did I tell you to breathe yet? No? Okay. All right. She knows that routines are essential, right, to set the tone. And so if your kid was in Miss Mercury's class, now when kids get home, they act different, right? But I bet you when they walk through that door, Miss Mercury doesn't play. So I want to acknowledge you for all that you bring to the kindergarten group. We appreciate everything you do and what you'll continue to do next year. So let's give Miss Mercury a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Miss Stapleton from K4, for those of you who don't know me. K4 graduates, please stand when you hear your name. Ariel Jones, Isaac Felix, Cameron Registry, Jarrell Dixon, Christian Dixon, Tara Bouvet, Sarah Hafar, Ava Murray, Olivia Merriman, Renika Brown, Justice Pearman, Nyla Sampson, Bryce Johnson, Isaiah Doman, Kennedy Shaw, Justin Ulysses, Linnell Vilsaint, and Taylor Sayers. Please give a round of applause for our K4 graduates. Congratulations. You can now be seated. I want to just acknowledge a few of the parents. I want to thank all of the parents for your great support this year. Please stand when you hear your name. Taya Farrell, David Murray, Kira Merriman, Tanisha Orridge, Nancy Zimmerman, and Nisha Porter. I want to thank you guys for all your amazing support.
So, I do need to. So, the fabulous duo, can I have the second person, Miss Fontaine, can you come up? So, again, everyone knows Miss Mercury and Miss Stapleton were together. Y'all say yes. And then Mr. Waterson had to break them up. We had to do what he had to do, right? And he found a gem in Miss Fontaine. And again, God calls you to step over, step through, step in. She had to step into something because she didn't start with us at the beginning of the year. And they both made it happen. They worked together. They cared for the kids. And it was a lot for them to do. They have a very special class, okay? That class, I mean, those are the only words, they're special. They're gems. It's a lot of work and a lot of patience. And so I just want us to give them a round of applause for all that they did this year and what they're going to continue to do moving forward. So now, y'all always like me to go over procedures. Here we go. If you have a gray Nissan with North Carolina tags, you are parked in the church gentry area, so you have to move your car. So if you have a gray Nissan with North Carolina tags, and you are parked on the opposite side in front of the church, by the church, please go and move your car, or I think they're going to move it for you. Thank you very much. Now we are going to have Miss Howard come up.
Before Ms. Howard comes, we have a special parent presentation on behalf of our principal. I'm calling him Dr. Charles Waterson. Can we give him a round of applause as he comes?
Good morning, everyone. Let me try that again. Good morning, everyone. So for those of you that do not know me, I've been here for 6 years, but for those of you who do not know me, there's another profession that I do hold, which is I'm also a pastor. So I have to remind myself constantly which room I'm in, because Miss Keith has been charging me up every time she comes up to the mic, and I'm like, okay, I have to remember this is Merrick Academy, and this is not Rivers of Living Water United Church of God. So I have to remember that just for a second. So in that same vein, there is a special award that I have to give out to a particular individual that I have volunteered her and voluntold her throughout the year. And she has been instrumental in being a voice of the parents and the voice of the families. And I have to let you know the many times that I have called her on the spot, the many times that I have kind of forced her to do some of the work that she didn't always want to do, but she has jumped in. And I want to just take this moment to honor her publicly before everyone. So I'm going to invite Miss Tia Farrell to stand up. And I'm going to invite her to the front. On behalf of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School, from the executive leadership team and the board of trustees, we honor you, we salute you for working alongside of us, as well as putting a foot forward to plan exactly what does it look like for families and family engagement and family community and partnership for the next, I want to say, 22 plus years, as Merrick Academy has been open for 22 years. We salute you and we honor you. Thank you for your service, for your commitment, and for your honor. We salute you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to turn it back over in the hands of the mistress of ceremony, none other than the family and community coordinator. Let's give her a round of applause, Miss Karima Porter. She has jumped in and she has done a phenomenal job, and we salute you today. Wonderful job.
Thank you so much. Now we will have Miss Stacy Howard, Dean Howard, that is, come at this time.
I wanted to go before Mr. Waters said. So, good morning. I am Dean Howard. I work alongside Dean Koch, and I'm here to present awards to our enrichment teachers. We want to acknowledge them from mastering artistic techniques, from perfecting dance moves, from learning technology. So first, and learning Arabic, right? I know they came, I can't say a word of Arabic, so I won't even try, but I know they came home and spoke those words to you. So at this time, we want to acknowledge Miss Kimani Jackson, our art teacher. She was. Here she is. And she just had twin girls. Whoop, whoop. Mr. Fabio Puentes. He is also our visual arts teacher. Miss Mariah Priester, our dance teacher. Miss Amani Shalushi. We call her Miss C, y'all. And last but not least, Mr. Jermaine Allen, our esteemed technology teacher. We salute you. Is he down here? He's probably teaching. Thank you. At this time, Ms. Porter is coming back.
Thank you again, Ms. Howard. We are so excited for what has already taken place. Can we give everyone that has gone a round of applause again? Now at this time, can I have Shamari and Zahira come at this time?
Hi, my name is Ahira. We will be singing. Let's spread the news.
Scholars, tracking Miss Porter, you may now stand. Miss Porter, you may now take your seats. Give them again a round of applause. And at this time, we will have our introduction of our Stepping Up charge by none other than Miss Zenzali Keith. Give her a round of applause.
So actually, I'm introducing Principal Waterson. He says he doesn't want to preach, but you can't help be what you are, right? Okay. He's making a face at me. So, Principal Waterson, he started in education in 1998. And he came to Merrick. He was a principal in Massachusetts and had different principalships. And then in 2016, while he was working on his doctorate, he said, you know what? I want to keep working with kids. I don't want to be in a leadership role. I'm just going to come to Merrick and I'm going to be a sub. That's it. I'm just going to sub so I can work on my PhD. Well, let's see how that turned out. Okay? So he started out as a sub. Then he moved into a classroom teacher role. Then the school leader in residence role. So we're at 3 positions now, right? 2 away from sub. Assistant principal, director of academic operations, interim director of operations, interim principal, and then principal. So at Merrick, he has held 8 different titles, and he is still finishing his dissertation, y'all. So let's give a round of applause. And I think we need to give him a lot of credit and bow our imaginary hats to him, because this year, on November 2nd, he had to step into the role as interim principal. He didn't get to set the tone. He didn't get to decide exactly what we were going to do at the beginning of the year. He was charged by Dr. Manuel with leading the school for the remainder of the school year and leading the school into the future. And that's very different. Any of you who are working have had to step into a role, right? You don't get to set the tone. That's very difficult. And he's done it with grace. He's done it with ease. And he has changed the tone of the school so that we can survive as we transition, and I'm putting this out in the universe, out of this pandemic. And so I want us to clap it up, and I want us to allow him to come in and to do what it is that I know he's going to do when he gets up to this mic. So let's stand up and give a round of applause for Principal Watterson.
Good morning, everyone, again. I promise not to be long. I'm not going to be long-winded at all. This is not Sunday morning for me, and I'm going to behave. I'm going to behave. The first thing I want to do is I want us to give another round of applause to our kindergarten students that are going to first grade. They've done a wonderful job. The second thing that I want to do is I want to invite the ancestors in the room. And the reason why I want to invite the ancestors in the room, because constantly we know that the reason why we are sitting here is because we put our feet on someone else's shoulders. And they pushed through, and they pushed us, and they challenged us. So here we are today, remembering the time that we were sitting in these seats, and now we're on the other side, viewing our babies grow up right before us. And as a parent of 3, youngest turning 20. My second is a middle child, and we know middle children. He's turning 22, and then my oldest just turned 31 years old. And I am, at the end of the day, I know black don't crack. I'm sorry, I'm going to behave. 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 It's about the children today. We're at home. Merrick Academy has always been a community-based school where parents, families matter. And we want to make sure that we continue that legacy, that family matters. So I want to give every single family member, every single parent in this room, every part that continues to put forth best efforts for our children to have a safe place to be able to evolve into the creatures and the creations that God has called them to be. I want to give you a round of applause. So every staff member, give them a round of applause. Every child, give them a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. And if you're sitting next to someone that you don't know, give them a round of applause. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. So I'm going to go back to my script so I can stick there because I told you I'm going to behave. Good morning. Congratulations to the kindergarten class of 2022. It is with great privilege and honor that I'm with you today to give you this year's charge. To the Executive Director, Dr. Manuel, we salute you. To Ms. Keith, our Director of Student Support Services, who who also has overseen our ceremony today. We salute you. Mr. Jones, our Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Valerio, our HR Business Manager, to the entire staff, to our kindergarten instructors, to the entire staff again, Chairperson Ms. Jarvis, and the Board of Trustees, families, communities, and most importantly, the scholars. And I call them scholars because that's what they are. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to this year's kindergarten class of 2022 and the graduating class of 2027 as the principal of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School. This is a very momentous day for the families, as most and more importantly for our scholars. They're stepping up today. I'm well aware that today is all about our young kings and queens. Therefore, my remarks are mostly directed to the amazing young people present. Don't they look incredible? You dressed them. They look incredible. I believe they are deserving of another round of applause. Let's give them another round of applause. Today is about them, but yet it's also about you. And if I would take a moment just to leave from my script and talk directly to the families that are inside of here, let us go back and reflect on the child that lives inside of us. The child that at the age of 5 and at the age of 6 had dreams, that some that you couldn't articulate, or sometimes you could articulate, but everybody could not see it or even hear it or even conceive it inside of their notion because they had what they had. I'm talking about our families. But yet we all still had a dream that lived inside of us, even at 5 and 6 years old. And here we have creations of the Almighty God that sits before us that have dreams and they have visions, even now at this stage. We look at them right now and we wonder that some of them are peculiar, some of them are a reflection of ourselves, some of them do some things that we're like, where did they get that from? But on the inside, we know that they got it from us when we were little. And we know that if we had our parents that would remind us, our parents would have said to us that wait until you get older. When you get some children, they're going to act just like you. Mm-hmm. So they're in the room, exactly. They're in the room, and we see them. Our charge today, and our charge continually for the remainder of our days, is not to form and fashion them into what we want them to become. Let me say that again. Not to form and fashion them into what we want them to become, but to give them the safe space, the vulnerable space, the intellectual space, the emotional space to be able to evolve into the creations that they are. They have an assignment here on the earth. We all have an assignment here on the earth, but they have an assignment here on the earth to make this a safer and a better place, not for just us, but for everyone called humanity. And our job is, as parents, as teachers, as educators, is to push them, to challenge them, to support them, to encourage them, to lift them up, to hold their hands, to hug them, to keep them when they're crying, when they don't get the support, and to continually say, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And our job is to push them further than where we are at. So families, teachers, staff, that is your charge, to continue to show up, to continue to advocate, to continue to push them, even when you don't understand them, because they're going to get older. And when they get older, again, they're going to be a reflection of you when you weren't understood. But your job is to remember that safe place and what you needed and give them exactly what they need in order to make it. I'm going back to the script. Families, we spend a lot of time and effort as families and teachers preparing our children for their futures, and with good reason. To prepare our children for adulthood, we must provide them with lifelong skills. It is our joint obligation to guide and develop the leaders of tomorrow, for the future depends on them. As we pay respects to tomorrow's young kings and queens, we must recognize that they have already begun their extraordinary journey towards accomplishing their God-given goals. They're grown and developed at a fast pace this year. They have gained a great deal of knowledge. They have stayed motivated and enthusiastic throughout, and they progressed in a variety of ways, even when we weren't sure, even when we had our own anxieties. They kept showing up. We, the leadership, would like to express our gratitude to every single teacher, staff, and families who have played such an important part in facilitating this process. Now, scholars, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to every single scholar. I feel very compelled to express this to you today. Today is not only about your tomorrow, but it's about your today. You are already someone. You are someone great. You come from a lineage and a heritage of kings and queens, and you shall never settle for less. Let me repeat that. You should never, and you will never settle for less. You have a community, not only here at the school, but a community at large that will back you up. And no matter the situation or the circumstances, no matter how old you get, we got your back. Let me say that again. Do we have their backs? We got their backs. I want to say to you, you've worked extremely hard every day to learn more. You've already played hard, and you're going to play hard again today. You've met some new friends, and you tried to be good friends as well. Congratulations and well done to each of you and every one of you. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Scholars, kindergarten students that are going to first grade, give yourself a round of applause. Put your hands together and give yourself a round of applause. Families, enjoy being today with your loved ones, with your babies. Enjoy being today with all of your heart and soul. And don't worry too much about getting ready for first grade. You are well prepared. It will come naturally. Keep your extraordinary ability to perceive everything when you don't see anything. To not just see the seven marvels of the world, but to see the universe. Work hard and play just as more and more better and harder and more play than you played before. May your days always be filled with more than enough. Scholars, remember these words. You are filled with endless opportunities. Always remain youthful in mind and soul. Be bold, be courageous, be your best. Dream big and dare to fail. But when you do fail, and this is for the families in the room, when they do fail, it's just another opportunity for them to succeed. When you have a dream, and we all do, hold on to it, grab it, and don't let go. As the principal of Merrick Academy, Queens Public Charter School, it is an honor, it is truly an honor to be here, to be a chief servant to the development of our scholars. You've done a wonderful job. Families, you have done a wonderful job. I salute you. I honor you. I thank you for believing and trusting in Merrick Academy to do what we do, which is serve our children and serve our families to the best of our abilities. Where we are weak, we grow to become stronger. Where we are stronger, we grow to become wiser. Where we are wiser, we take the opportunity to use that wisdom and be applicable to it to make sure that when they come here every day, that you know in the work that you have to do, that not only they're developing academically, but they are well and that they are safe. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity. You could have chosen any other place, but you chose here. and we salute you. We honor you, and we thank you. God bless.
Did I not say he was going to preach? Okay. Like I said, you can't run away from what you are. And God sends the message through him, and he delivers it to us. So I want to go over, I'm all about the procedures. So before Miss Brancato closes us out, I want to acknowledge another person, a few other people, before we leave here. So it took a lot to put this together, a lot. And so Mr. Rael Jones, he's our new Chief Operating Officer. He's out and about. Y'all have seen him in the morning opening your car doors when the kids are coming in. We have Ms. Valerio back here, who she makes sure all this stuff gets paid for, including making sure we get paid. We have our deans who are here, Ms. Koch and Ms. Howard, who led this charge. And Ms. Koch is also playing a double role as a parent to Kenzo. And we have our academic intervention team, who they're a team of all trades, and they're out here. Miss Curley, Miss Budansing, and Miss LaRocca, they help to greet you. And our enrichment teachers who've been here supporting us. I just wanted to acknowledge those people. And we also have Mr. Lawrence, who has stepped in as our school photographer to make sure that we have all these wonderful pictures. So quickly, I just want to let you know how it's going to end. And I know we are all going to comply, because that's what we do, right? Okay. So after Miss Brancato gives her speech, the kids are going to walk out. But you're not. You're going to stay here for a second, and they're going to walk out. Teachers, just so you can hear me, there are cones. And so if you are in EK1, K1, and K2, when you go out of the parking lot, you are going to move to the right and stand next to your cones. Does everyone on this side hear me? All the teachers got it? Okay. On this side, K3 and K4, you're going to go out, and there are cones there, okay? And your kids will also have bags with gifts in them, and you'll have the folders, and you'll pass out. Parents, once the kids are situated, I just ask you, wait for a second, and I'm going to ask you to leave, and I'm going to ask you to go out by your child's class. You can stand next to the kids. There's a step and repeat. I'm going to call the classes to come. If you want to take a picture with your kids at the step and repeat, you can do so. If you just want to leave because you have a reservation at Red Lobster or something more fancy, you are free to do so. But this is their last day of school. If for whatever reason you are not able to take your child with you, you have to go back to work, just please come see Miss Howard. Miss Howard, raise your hand in the back. Everyone look to the back. Just let Miss Howard know if your child has to stay. We'll have special duties for them to do around the building, okay? And then if you're in the back, parents in the back, please do not leave out. We just need you to make sure you clear the way, so when the students walk out, they're going to be walking this way and heading out towards the gate. Okay, Miss Brancato.
Before Ms. Brancato comes, Janae has an introduction. Can we give her a round of applause for Ms. Janae as she comes?
Now my teacher, Miss Mercado, is going to say a few words. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Janae. Before I say my farewell speech to the new first graders, the kindergarten team would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to a few members of our team. Kindergarten teachers, can you please join me up here? They say it takes a village. It sure does. These members brighten our days. Mr. Watterson, Dr. Manuel, Miss Valerio, Miss Keith, Mrs. Hernandez, Miss Howard, and Miss Koch, and finally, our MC of Stepping Up, Miss Porter. The kindergarten team, thank you so much. We have flowers for you. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for joining us for this special celebration. We can't believe that a school year has passed by. In